Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are on episode 5 on the twin turbo build. So we've been working on it, and Jake's been doing some fabbing work. Gonna start doing a little bit of welding here. We're gonna have a lot of work to do on that downpipe yet, for sure. Just tacking it on for now. Tack all the pieces together, take it off, and booger the thing up. So, as you can tell here, we got the wastegate flange put on there. It doesn't look like it fits right now, but there's actually plenty of room for the wastegate and suspension travel. I know that AR moves up and down as the truck suspension moves, but it does clear good, so that is good. And this side manifold is not on there yet. Still been doing some stuff for clearancing on here. We've got the fuel regulator. It used to be mounted right here, and that's not going to work with the new turbo system, so I'm going to be moving it to basically where it's at there. I'm going to have to redo this hose here, and we'll run it from the regulator back over the back of the engine and over the top of the transmission. So that's the plan right there. Now the original LS harness is completely removed from the truck right now. I've got some of the relays that I did. We've got our transmission fan relay there. That is the 255 fuel pump relay. And this one is, oh sorry, this is the 255 pump relay. This is the 450 pump relay. And we got battery hot wire that goes to the alternator, and the key on wire right here. So that's some of the basic stuff right there. Oh, and the E-fan number 1 is right there, kick wire, and the fan number 2 kick wire is right there. So we'll be redoing all of that with the once the terminator system is all wired in. I'm gonna set it up on the inputs. And yeah, I did do a little bit of wiring so far with the terminator system. That is the fuel injector harness installed. And there's the main plug right there. And yeah, I turned all the injector plugs inward to help make it look a little cleaner in there. So yeah. Also, I'm going to be switching to push lock style hard plastic line for all my vacuum lines. So a lot of these vacuum lines are going to get removed. I'm going to redo it all. Shoot, looks like I had this one plugged. Oh, that one went to the blow off valve. I drove it a little bit all motor once the turbo was removed, so I guess I had to plug that. But also this hose right here has got the Hobbs switch on it, which I was using to activate the 255 inline as my secondary pump. Come on at 4 psi. I'm going to be removing that as well because the terminator is going to be kicking that thing on. And here again, fuel injector harness. All the injector plugs are moved inward for a cleaner look. This hose right here is part of the original harness on the truck. I have it going to the alternator. the main wire, which that cable runs along in there into this fuse box, which I have the wire going from here back around to where the fuse box was for the LS. So it's kind of how I had it wired up. I do also have a junction box down here that is super temporary. It looks like crap. I need to redo that yet. I'll get around to it yet, but it's basically the factory GM Silverado style red fuse block or junction block that is normally mounted right here on a Silverado, but it is not there. So this junction block right here is where the cable, the big red cable, goes back to the battery in the back of the truck, which I believe I've showed you guys before, but in case I didn't, I got the battery box mounted back here. So yeah, I was really thinking about putting the Terminator right there on the fender, but after doing some research, turns out the Terminator is not waterproof. And really, it doesn't look waterproof either. It's got that little hole right there. You can see right there, that's already telling me there's something there that's not waterproof. And the whole thing just doesn't look waterproof. Reading online, they said it wasn't, so I decided, since I have a street truck, I'm not going to be mounting it here under the hood. I'm going to mount it in the cab, which I've already drilled the hole out, but I still need to go bigger. I used the step drill to get that far, and I'm just going to take a Dremel or something and get the edges, elongate the hole a little bit to make sure we can get the plugs through there. And then I'm going to have to make some kind of a custom grommet or something. But yeah, so far that's where I'm at, guys. I just figured I'd give you an update on all that. Also, I wanted to mention I have 05, 06 Silverado E-fans in here. Had to do a lot of grinding and cutting and shaping the whole thing down to make it all fit. But it works awesome. I also have a Nelson Performance harness, which you can see right here are the relays for it. So it works awesome. And this radiator, by the way, is from a similar year model, say 1991, like this, 3/4 ton with a 454 big block in it. It is a 34 by 17 with 2 inches thick. So it's a really big radiator. Truck has no cooling problems with that, which is nice. I also wanted to mention, whenever I do the intercooler piping, most likely I'm going to be coming through right in this area. So I'm going to have to be doing a lot of chopping in there, moving that harness over somewhere else. And as you can see, I had to cut the grill out to fit that other intercooler I used to have. It was a smaller one that was really tall. Basically from there it would run down. But yeah, so the new intercooler is right here. The new intercooler is going to be a little different. My plan is to mount it in there in this direction. Let's see if I can, yeah, in this direction basically. So I can have one inlet on each side, and then the outlet pointing straight down. If the outlet points straight down, I can go underneath the radiator core support and then come back up. Basically down here, coming up, and then into the throttle body. So that is the plan as far as the intercooler goes, but we'll see when we get there. We're going to do all the hot side first, and once it's all done and mounted, then we'll move over to the cold side. And Jake did already do some downpipe welding right there, or tacking it together basically. We were out of V-bands, so instead of waiting for several days for a new one, we just reused an old one that we had. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. So yeah, and we are by no means professional fabricators, but we like to do it ourselves and make it work. So yeah, guys, I figured I'd give you a little bit of an update of what we've been doing on the truck so far. We haven't gotten a whole lot of work done. We've made a lot of mess. My workspace no longer looks as clean as it did, but we got a second table and it's already piling up. So before I get to doing any more, I'll probably end up cleaning a lot of this stuff up. You can see here also that I got a new welding helmet, which I thought looked pretty freaking cool. It's got the piston and rod on one side and a spark plug on the other side. It is just one I bought at Napa for 80 bucks, so it's by no means probably a super high quality one, but it works pretty good. So yeah, I just also figured, you know what? My dad's car is here. I'm gonna have to show it off you guys a little bit. It is a 1956 Bel-Air. She is a beautiful car. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around and show you some more about it. So I didn't have a lot of content to give you guys on the truck, so I figured I'd show off my dad's car a little bit, but it is a pretty sweet, clean car. Yeah, it's like velvet everywhere on the inside. It is super nice. Total custom interior, gauges, everything. One thing I thought was pretty neat was like the knobs, the volume knob for your radio and stuff. They just look super cool. Even that clock is still running. Yeah, this car is super clean, super cool. I love it. One day, it's gonna be mine, is what I keep telling him. For those of you guys that don't know much about the Bel-Airs, like me, let me zoom out here a little bit. These rear windows is pretty neat how they go down. They basically just fold down. That is super cool. And of course, we are a horsepower / car channel. Or for the most part, that's what I like to do. I did want to show you guys how awesome these doors close. Look at that. That is like better than a new car. We gotta show the under hood of the car as well. She is all chromed out. It's pretty sweet. But that's not gonna stay for long. You know us, we like our LS's. For those of you guys that do know us anyway. So yeah, I figured I'd show that thing off a little bit. Close the hood here. It's a fiberglass hood. The hood does not line up the greatest. I know my dad keeps talking about replacing the hood. The hinges and stuff are just not the most perfect body lines, but yeah, there's the old Bel-Air. You get a little bit of a treat today. So all right, guys, I guess that's it for today. We'll get to working on the truck some more yet, and I'll get you some more updates as we do. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.